How I make money as a freelance creator and YouTuber is probably the most common question I get asked from my friends and family. I've been doing this full time for about a year now, and I remember when I started off, there is so little information for the different income sources that people have, especially for small creators that are able to make it work and live full time off of their creative endeavors. So I'm gonna go kind of line by line for all of the different things that have worked for me over the past year. So hopefully I can provide some insight for all of you that are just getting started or are hoping to grow your income. The most straightforward income I have from YouTube is ad revenue. Google and YouTube sell ads based on my video and they split the profits with me. So essentially every month I get a direct deposit into my checking account from a portion of the ad sales that YouTube was able to make against my videos. Even though it's a relatively small amount, this is one of the most consistent and dependable income streams as a YouTube creator, and it also requires no extra effort beyond creating and uploading my videos. Affiliate sales and marketing is probably the biggest percentage of my income that comes from the YouTube channel. In my videos and many others across the platform, you'll often see links to the gear that people use to create their videos, or if they're discussing or reviewing a specific product, you'll see a link to that product. In most cases, those links are actually tracked and the creators receive a small commission if you decide to purchase the item after clicking through. Amazon is probably the most popular for this and has definitely been the most fruitful in my example. 2 or 3% commission on something that cost a few dollars, may only be a few pennies in your pocket, but if you're making hundreds of videos over the course of years, that can slowly trickle and add up to a pretty respectable amount every month, and has definitely made a huge help for me being able to keep the channel up and running. Now, when I'm not creating for YouTube, I'm often taking on freelance creative projects for other companies. And I'm not saying specifically video because I've actually taken on jobs for photography, for videography, and for graphic design. Before I started my career in video, I did actually attend college for graphic design and used to run a freelance graphic design company. Because I'm relatively new to the business, I'm still in that mode of kind of taking all of the jobs and all of the work I can get. It's also a great way to break up the monotony. I'm someone that likes to do a lot of different types of projects, as you can probably see from the YouTube channel. If you're someone that's new to freelancing and looking to get your first handful of clients, I made a video earlier this year for some tips that worked well for me. I'll be sure to link that down below for you. Patreon has been another way I've been able to slowly grow some consistent income for the YouTube channel. Outside of the videos I create on the main channel here, I actually do have a small community on Patreon where I do weekly live streams and offer kind of behind the scenes content for folks that want to sponsor and help support the channel. In my case, this is a pretty small community, but you can look around and see a lot of creators like Binging with Babish and Matt Davella, grow significant followings through Patreon, and that has been enough to almost completely fund their channel and pay their bills and rent. This is going to be a little bit more work up front and kind of an if you build it, they will come sort of scenario. But if you're willing to put in that upfront work, it's been a great way to kind of build up some consistent monthly income in addition to the ad revenue and affiliate sales for my YouTube channel. It's also been really fun to kind of have a more intimate relationship with some of the people that follow the channel, and it's fun just to have that direct support from the viewers. I don't talk about it too often on the YouTube channel because I don't actually have any, Josh Fenn merch, but in addition to kind of my personal brand and my YouTube channel here, I run a cat photography business named Candid Kitten, and I also have an Instagram and TikTok for my cat Wolfie. He actually has his own line of merchandise available for sale, so that has been another stream of income available for me. I host Wolfie's online store through Squarespace, not a sponsor, although I would highly recommend them. And then I use Printful as a third-party dropship printing service for any sort of merchandise. Using a print-on-demand service is going to yield you a little bit less profit, but it's also much less active work. I designed the merchandise and uploaded it to the site, and essentially from that point, they take care of everything else. So it's a great way to kind of have some passive income beyond setting up the actual designs. And a shameless plug for me, be sure to check out candidkitten.com if you follow my cat's Instagram and want to get some merch for yourself. Photo and video licensing has been another pretty fruitful stream of passive income for me over the past year. Surprisingly enough, I've actually made more money licensing my cat photography than anything from my video business, but essentially companies will pay you to be able to use your images or video in whatever work that they're doing. A recent example of this for me, I had a book publisher reach out that was creating a coffee table book full of cats on Instagram and wanted to use some photos that I took of Wolfie earlier this year. In exchange for them being able to publish my photography in their book and make money from it, they pay me a fee to have the legal right to do so. This is by far my favorite income stream. Nothing is better than getting paid for work that you've already done, let alone work that you did for fun. So because I'm relatively new at this, my income isn't quite where I want it to be, so I've been kind of hustling on the side to figure out a few other ways to bring in extra income. First being something called M-Turk. It's called Amazon Mechanical Turk. I recently found this a few weeks ago and have been kind of digging in and learning about it, and it seems super fascinating. Essentially, you take surveys for research studies, or you kind of pick out and rate different AI systems, all of the things that computers aren't quite smart enough to do yet that are just small menial tasks. They'll often pay, 50 cents or 10 cents or something like that. So it's all little baby small amounts, but you're only taking, potentially a couple of minutes per project. This is something I wouldn't really depend on as full-time income, but it's a great way to kind of earn some extra beer money on the side or supplement your income if you do need to raise it up and you have some free time to spare. Another way I've been able to bring in some extra money as I build up my business is flipping and reselling items a la Gary Vee. This actually started with kind of clearing out some clutter from my apartment when I moved into a different unit at the start of this year. But since then, I've actually been buying a few other things and reselling them through Facebook Marketplace and eBay, Craigslist, things like that. It's not big money, but it's been able to bring in, a couple $100 extra a month when I can. It's also nice to have some work that maybe is a little bit more menial or simple from time to time. As a creative, I often struggle with, kind of creative or writer's block or just creative exhaustion doing this stuff full time. So it's nice to be able to kind of take a step back and do something a little bit more basic. Hopefully this helps anyone that's getting started off or looking to increase or supplement your income as a freelancer or as a creative. I know I needed to see videos like this when I was getting started off, and I really didn't find very many, so I hope this helps. Be sure to leave any tips that you might have if you're a freelancer or creative down below. But thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you in the next one.